Welcome back to episode 3 of News Glitch. I'm Matthew. This is a show where real news headlines get the reactions they deserve because there's no way this is real life. Alright, let's get into it with headline number 1 of the day. Okay, and to start off today with our first headline, it goes like this. Smart fridges doing weird stuff. Smart fridges and appliances are getting so advanced they can basically order groceries for you, which sounds cool until there's a glitch. Because now your fridge has free will to do whatever they want. It has your credit card, and there's a whole big problem with that. So the story behind this is that a smart fridge can connect to shopping platforms like Instacart, and the idea is they help you restock automatically, but that also means they can accidentally order stuff when something gets misread. So what happened here was someone had on reorder one thing of milk every week. All of a sudden, 100 cartons of milk show up at their door. How does that happen? Because 2 extra zeros were by accidentally misplaced somewhere along the line in the system. So now what do they do with 100 cartons of milk? And for me, I would just say don't have your fridge order your groceries, because if you went to the grocery store, you would realize that there's a difference between 100 and 1. Like, there's a huge difference. And this is what happens when we give appliances too much power. First it orders groceries, and then it's going to be like telling me I need to go on a diet. When you wake up and there's that much milk at your door, I don't even know what I would do. And I'm not even sure if this works as if it hears you. Like, if you say Alexa, order food, and the fridge hears order more food, how does that work? Because this is just calling for huge glitches. Also, smart fridges know way too much about you. If it knows that you open the fridge 9 times a day, why does it need to know that? Why is that important? I think people are just making smart things so that they could sell, and this is just the most 2026, let's make our money, let's sell something. Back in the day, technology was supposed to save time. This is just creating new problems and adding more time. So at the end of the day, I would just say, be careful which fridge you pick. Okay, on to the next headline. Okay, so for headline 2, it reads like this. Neighbor sues over Wi-Fi password. Now it sounds like we're officially living in a sitcom. A man filed a lawsuit against his neighbor because the neighbor wouldn't give him the Wi-Fi password. Instead of buying his own internet, he chose violence and to file a lawsuit. Imagine suing someone because they didn't give you their Wi-Fi password. That's like suing your neighbor because they didn't let you use their shower. He understands that the neighbor is paying for the Wi-Fi. It's not free. You could also pay for the Wi-Fi. He's paying for it, therefore he could decide what to do with it. Bro wants free internet and is complaining that he's not getting it. Back in the day, lawsuits were major stuff, and now it's he didn't share the Wi-Fi. Imagine being the judge in court, and the judge will say, so you're telling me you're suing because the password wasn't given to you. This guy's going to be like, yes, Your Honor. Judge will say, have you tried paying for internet? Case would be dismissed immediately. This is ridiculous. Unbelievable. Wi-Fi etiquette is crazy because it's always awkward. Once you ask, you're fine. Once you ask once, you're fine. But if you're asking again, you're doing too much, because everyone knows once you ask once, you save the password, you already have it, it's in your phone. And some people don't want you on their Wi-Fi because the second you join the internet, slows down, and suddenly everything is buffering. The neighbor's sitting there in defense and saying, Your Honor, I literally don't know this man. It just doesn't even make sense. Is a lawsuit, you're spending more money on the lawsuit, you should just pay for the Wi-Fi. I think you're just mad at your neighbor. Why not pay for the Wi-Fi? Why pay for the lawsuit? The lawsuit is probably way more expensive. To hire a lawyer, to go to court, just a waste of time. Just pay for the Wi-Fi. Ridiculous. Okay, well, with that craziness, we're on to headline 3. Okay, so for headline 3, we have a wild one. Tax studies about why people don't pay taxes. This isn't even a headline, this is just a warning, so be ready. There are studies showing people don't pay taxes for a bunch of reasons. Misunderstandings, avoidance, and straight up believing rules don't apply to them. Taxes are the only thing in life where people will be like, nah, I'm good. Like, you can't just opt out of taxes the way you opt out of a group chat. There's certain things that you get from paying taxes, and there's certain reasons why you have to pay taxes. You can't just opt out. But on the other hand, why are they spending money on tax studies about taxes when they already know this happens? Some people treat taxes like terms and conditions. I didn't read it, so it doesn't count. Bro, the IRS is not going to be like, oh, you didn't know? No worries. The IRS is going to come after you. They're going to be on you, and they're going to know. This stuff is all tracked. You can't get around this stuff. The craziest part is people will be wrong with full confidence. They'll say stuff as, I didn't make that much money, so it doesn't count. I got paid in cash, so it's invisible. I'm a student, so I'm tax-free. If I don't open the letter, it's not real. That's not finance. That's denial. You just don't want to pay the taxes, so you're going to make up any excuse not to pay them. All of those statements are just reasons why people won't pay. They're not real excuses. I got paid in cash, so it's invisible? Yeah, it's invisible, and you're lying. This is why misinformation spreads so fast. One person says something like, you don't have to pay taxes if you're under 25. Then 400 people would just say, wait, really? Now everyone is living off tax advice from some random guy. In the end, just pay your taxes, follow the rules, and don't be part of this study. Not worth it. All right, on to the last headline. Headline number 4. Let's do it. So for the 4th headline, we got something that goes with schools. It goes like this. School board bans math. That is ridiculous. How is a school board going to ban math? All right, let's read it and find out. Apparently, there are debates and local decisions about changing math curriculum and cutting traditional standards. And people online turned it into they're banning math. So the headline's just false off the bat. Might not be as crazy as I thought. When I read this, I thought we tried fractions and we lost the will to live. Like, they're trying to protect the kids because fractions are too difficult. Kids are struggling with long division, so we're switching the vibes. That's not the right approach, especially if you're a school. You should just be teaching it or trying to find a better way to teach it or a more interesting way to teach it. You're a school, that's your job. Your job is to cut out the curriculum. Your job is to make the curriculum better. If math is banned, what's left? What's going to take that place? I just don't understand. Like, math is one of the most important subjects in school. You can't just get rid of that. It's in everything. Real world consequences you're now going to have. If you ban math and you go into Starbucks, it's going to be, that'll be $6.73. And you're just going to say, I don't believe in numbers. You're going to hand them $7 and they're going to hand you a penny back. You're not going to know what to do. No one's going to know how to do anything. The world's going to fold. Nothing's going to be able to operate. This is not good. This is just ridiculous. You cannot cancel math. That's the end. Can't cancel math. Very important. All right, that's it for episode 3 of News Glitch. If any of these headlines made you laugh, pause, or question reality, mission is accomplished. If you enjoyed it, make sure to follow, rate the show, and share it with a friend who loves chaotic news. I'm Matthew, and I'll catch you on the next episode next Tuesday.